Hi, I'm Erik Linask. I'm here in the TMC newsroom, and today on our show, I'm pleased to be speaking with the president and co-founder of a company called IceWarp. He is Ladislav Goc. Ladi, welcome, good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Good morning.
So let's get right into it. You are president and co-founder of IceWarp. For our viewers, can you give me a quick overview of who IceWarp is?
IceWarp is a software development company from Europe. We've been established 10 years ago, and we started with the development simple email server that evolved over the years after the full united communication solutions.
So unified communication is certainly something the world is now really getting its hands into, is really starting to adopt at a fairly rapid pace. One of the big things that I keep hearing, though, about is security, and I keep hearing different stories about security with regards to different elements of unified communications. And one of the things I certainly hear is people say they are aware of security requirements, but where does the market lie in terms of what they're actually doing about security?
If somebody is aware of security for united communication, he is actually more than right. Unfortunately, because even the email communication today, and it's one small part of unified communication, is mostly not secure today, and we can see a number of the stories how the stolen emails from politicians and from the VIP people can in fact make a really bad impact for almost anything. Now imagine that you have unified communication and that on your server is not just an email, but it's also instant messaging and voice and your personal data, groupware, your calendars, meetings, and so on. And so it is the bonanza for the bad guys. If they will get to such server that is not secured enough, they can get a lot of useful stuff for them.
So what sort of provisions do you make so that your clients and your customers, your users, can implement the appropriate security measures?
Security has in fact different components depending what kind of protocols you are going to secure. You need completely different solution for securing the emails and different solution for securing the voice over IP communication or different one for the instant messaging communication. So it is a set of the different tools built about the different protocols that are providing this security as a joint effort of all of it. And we just recently counted how many layers of security we have in the system, and we got over number 22.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, we are surprised too.
So that then obviously plays over into the mobility question as well, a key component, perhaps the key component of unified communications features. What types of mobility requirements are there, and what are you seeing from your customers in terms of their needs?
Mobility needs really explode recently. In fact, without possibility to synchronize your mobile devices with your server, you are almost not able to be a player on the market already. However, mobility also brings a new approach to security, because if you are securing server, it is the one point and you can do it. If you have a skilled administrator, and you know what I'm doing, that's possible. Now imagine that with the mobility, you need to secure also the client devices. You need to secure the mobile phones, iPad, and so on. And this is a much bigger challenge as than just simple server security.
Why?
Why? Because you can't control it. If your manager is somewhere on the road and he is using the cell phone, and this cell phone is not properly set by technician, he can use the simplest possible setup, and the simplest possible setup is always unencrypted. And all his sensitive data are going over the air through the unknown number of the routers and points and data providers up to the office. And everybody on the road can record it if it's not encrypted.
So you overcome that by enabling server-side encryption.
Yes, that is one of the workaround, because the messages are mostly, the easiest way how to steal the messages is not during the transmission, but in the moment when they were already arrived to the server, and they are sitting here in some folder and waiting for reading or in an archive. So, and as I mentioned before, most of the messages are today unencrypted. If somebody will get to the server, he's getting to the folders, he has just everything. So one of these 22 layers that I mentioned we have is a special server-side encryption on fly. It means that regardless if you have got your message encrypted or unencrypted, in the moment when it's stored to your mailbox, it's automatically encrypted by your key. So it's visible for you, but invisible even for your administrators.
So that then provides that level of security, regardless of the user, regardless of the mobile endpoint.
Now it gives like additional option for security. It's not the replacement, because for full security you have to secure it point to point. It means it has to start on the mobile device and finish on the server. But it's always better to have at least something than nothing.
Fair enough. Are there certain mobile manufacturers that are easier to work with than others?
Well, all major players are already pretty good. We have the best experiences with the Microsoft Windows mobiles, and the all others are in fact very comparable. So it means if you have iPhone, iPad, or Android, it's fine, and it's using quite well today.
So basically, the three major operating systems that we're likely to see for the foreseeable future.
Oh, definitely.
Good, excellent. You mentioned instant messaging earlier, and I know that you sort of IceWarp had an interesting story from beginning of its instant messaging capabilities to where you are now.
Yes. We started with instant messaging about 2005 for our own internal purpose, because we realized that it's much more flexible as emails during the development and communication. And this time there were just the public services like ICQ, and I think that it was IOL already, and so on. And partially with ICQ it was horrible. Once you turn on your ICQ account, you got all kind of unwanted messages. So we developed instant messaging server mostly for our own purpose, and because we were very happy with that, we just published it to the end users, and we were expected some positive reaction, and the real reaction was like completely opposite. We were getting a number of the complaining emails, why we are spending time on instant messaging, that it is just for the kids and nobody will ever use it for the business purposes and so on. And we say, wait a minute, we are not talking about the ICQ. That is the business instant messaging. It is encrypted. It has a client. It's everything. No way. It was simply not accepted. And the sales of instant messaging, when we introduced it for next like 2 or 3 years, were close to zero. And situation today is like completely opposite. The potential customers are coming to our solution and say, oh, you have included instant messaging. That's great. No, we need that. So you see how it changed. And I've been thinking about it, and it's definitely a result of the two factors. Number one, the kids that used ICQ and other instant messaging social chats grown a little bit. They got from the college, and they are now on the positions that they are used for such kind of communication, so they want it, and they want it in a business version. And number two, the social media exploded, and everybody is now just used to chat, used to send the text messages, used to communicate in this way. So it completely changed acceptance of the instant messaging now. Now it's important competition advantage.
And it really has become part of the overall unified communications experience.
Definitely. And you know, because our unified communication is all-in-one solution, our instant messaging is cross-connected with another component in the system. So for example, you can define a bridge between instant messaging and the cell phone SMS messaging. So your secretary will type instant message in the office. You will get it as SMS message to your cell phone. You will reply from your cell phone as an SMS message, and she will get it back to the instant message. And because it's a business solution, it's all archive, and that's important.
Excellent. We've been talking here in the TMC newsroom with IceWarp's co-founder and president, Ladi Goc. Ladi, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great pleasure talking to you about IceWarp's unified communications.
Thank you very much.